Hi everyone, and welcome to our Thursday Touchbase event. I'm gonna wait a minute to make sure that I am live and all of you can see me okay. That my head's not cut off this time like it was last time. So I'm just gonna give myself a minute here for it to pop on and for a few of you to join in. If you're able to see me, please let me know. Comment that you're able to see me and I'm here. And I am going to move the camera a little bit further up so that I'm not cutting my head off while all of you join. So anyway, welcome. I'm glad to have some of you here with me tonight live on my video. Hi Sharon. I'm just adjusting this a little bit more because I was cutting my head off last week and I don't want to do that this week. So bear with me guys. Hi Sonia. I see Karen on there and Cindy. So I'm gonna come back. I wanted to just make sure that you guys can see me this time and I don't cut my head off. So we'll see if I move that up high enough this time so that you guys can see me because I don't want you seeing half of me. Anyway, so excited to be sharing with all of you tonight some of our awesome kits that we have in the catalog. I've also brainstormed a list of tips and tricks and things that I think you might like to know about stamping, just to kind of give you some ideas of different tips and techniques and things like that. I'm still a little bit cut off, but I'm going with it, you guys. I have to figure this out. So you guys can at least see my face, so we're good. Anyway, so may you guys know the drill. If you share my video, you get into the drawing for the weekly giveaway. And this time I have up for grabs. So let me tell you the winners of last week's first. And then I'll tell you what I have up for grabs this week. So the winners last week for sharing my video is Judy Squires. Judy, you get a package of the Petal Pink Rhinestones. And Judy, when I was putting all my names into my little program that I use, I saw that you commented you don't have catalogs yet. So when I get these in the mail to you, I will mail you catalogs unless you let me know you've already received them, because some people got them a little bit late. So if not, I'll get them in the mail to you. And I apologize that I didn't see that comment earlier. The other winner is Melissa DeRoshi. Congratulations, Melissa. She got the linen thread. Those were my two items that I had up for grabs last week. So thanks for sharing my video. I love that you guys eagerly share what I do with all of your friends. If you know of anyone that needs a demonstrator, needs some weekly inspiration, needs to feel connected, part of a group, please send them my way. I love to help lift people up, especially in the wintertime. We all get kind of the winter blues and the ickiness going on. So anyway, up for grabs this week is a package of the Needlepoint Nook buttons. These are new in the Occasions catalog. So I encourage you to share to get some new little buttons. These buttons are super duper cute, and I know I showed them to you guys in a live video a few weeks back. And then the other item that I grabbed out of my stash is some mini dimensionals, because we all can use dimensionals. And if you haven't used these minis yet, you're gonna love them. I have customers that use nothing but the minis now because they go farther and they do the exact same thing that the big ones do. They give you the dimension that you're looking for. So those are the items up for grabs this week. And just a few announcements for you guys. I want to make sure that all of you know about my big event that I do. I know some of you are long distance and you won't be able to attend, but if you're long distance, registration, or if you're local, and by local I mean within an hour, hour and a half, but my registration is open for my Creative Escape for Cystic Fibrosis. It is a fundraiser that I've been doing now. This will be my 6th year, and last year we raised $3,300. Woo, it's a lot of money. We're hoping to exceed that this year. Every year we keep exceeding that. Last year I think we had 50 people in attendance. It's kind of like a scrapbook retreat weekend, crafting weekend. Some people brought their sewing machine and sewed, but registration is open for that. I posted information about that earlier today. Most of you may have gotten an email on it, so just a reminder about that huge event of mine. And for those of you that don't know the history behind that event, I'm going to just take a couple minutes to share that with you. So the young man who passed away of cystic fibrosis, his name was Brad Niswanger. His mom and I became very good friends through our church, gosh, a number of years ago. We used to go camping with them, and after he passed away, I knew that I kind of wanted to do some kind of a fundraiser with my Stampin' Up! Business, because it's so rewarding for me to give back. And so I was trying to figure out what I could do and what organization I wanted to do that with. And shortly after he passed away, he was waiting for a lung transplant. He was on the lung transplant transplant list and didn't make it. He was 26 years old. And so shortly after that, he died the beginning of May. We went camping with his parents, our friends, Chris and Linda, the end of May for Memorial Day weekend. And that's when I asked her if she would be okay if I did a fundraiser in his memory. And she loved it. And so even though that they've now moved away, they live downstate from where I live here in Michigan. They come up and she and her sisters do all the cooking in the kitchen. I organize the actual event. We do a raffle. So we're taking donations for that. If any of you have anything, I shouldn't really be calling it a raffle, but it's a way for us to make a little bit of extra money. And so if anybody has anything they want to donate to that, let me know, because the bigger the better that is. It's all the more money that we can raise to donate back. And I want to thank those of you that have already told me that you're bringing something to donate. I really appreciate that. So anyway, huge event that I do. I'm very passionate about it. I love it. Cannot wait for it to get here. Then I want to also mention to you guys, celebration is in full swing. So for every $50 order, anything you want, you get something for free out of the little celebration booklet. And last week, I think it was last week, I'm losing track, maybe it's 2 weeks ago, I showcased for you guys all of the different items in the celebration brochure. There's got to be something that's on your wish list or your want list. Anybody who puts in a $30 order from now through the weekend, so now through Sunday, will get a free pack of dimensionals. Or anybody who puts in a kit order, there's 2 kits that I'm going to be showcasing for you. The kit is $27, so it's close to that $30 mark. But anybody who might be interested in a kit will also get a pack of dimensionals for free. So that is my promotion. I didn't actually print the little thing with my host code because, for one, I don't have enough room for it when I start showcasing everything for you guys, and the other reason is because it's on my website. If you go to kimsbasementbunch.com, my host code for the month is right there, right with the link for shopping. So it's pretty simple for you to be able to do that. If you're not comfortable with online shopping, you can always message me your order and I can have it shipped directly to you. So that's also an option. Local gals, my classes are January 21st, 28th, and 29th. I've posted those on my website. I've also been putting them on my Facebook group. If you're long distance, you guys can also get your hands on my kits. All of my kits I'm able to ship directly to you with a minimum order as well. So if you're interested in any of my card classes, I offer them both local and what I call my kit to go, or I kind of call it a kit to go class online. There's so many different things you can call it. But I do aim to please when it comes to making sure that if anybody wants one of my classes, that they're able to get it in their hands, because that's why I love what I do. I love getting you guys stamping and crafting and having fun. Also, I know I've mentioned to a few of you, and some of you have mentioned you might be interested in this, the whole joining promotion. And when I say joining, I don't want you guys to think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do what Kim does. But there's a huge promotion right now to join Stampin' Up! And I don't view it anything differently than when we get those Kohl's discounts. I know we all look for those Kohl's coupons to come in the mail that you pull back and you see if you're a lucky 30% off winner. Joining Stampin' Up! Is similar to that. So if you were to join Stampin' Up!, you basically get 20% off all of your own purchases orders that you put in. And so, a lot of people do it just to get the discount on their own products, especially there's a big list of things that you guys want. A lot of my club members have also joined, and then they just put in those minimum orders with me to be part of my club. So, a lot of people think that once they do that, they have to quit coming to my classes or they have to quit being part of my club. Absolutely not. I wouldn't be doing my job for all of you if I didn't tell you guys of a great sale and a great promotion. I feel like that's kind of withholding information from you guys because I want you guys to know about the great sale. So to join Stampin' Up! Right now during celebration, it's an amazing time because you get to pick out $175 of product. Anything you want in the catalog. $175. It's a great time to get your blends, to get your big shot, to get some of those bundles that are a little bit costly, but you get to pick out $175 and you pay only $99. So you get $76 of free stuff. And you can do all this simply online. There's a link you have to click on to be able to go to join. I'd love to have you part of my Basement Bunch Stampers team. I do monthly team meetings in a separate Facebook page group that is specific for them. And if you're long distance, you get to watch the live video every month that I do. Other little perks that I do is I also have a business builders page for anybody who might want to make this a bit bit of a business for them. So anyway, if you're interested in that, let me know. It's an amazing opportunity, a huge way to get product for free and to save on all of your future purchases as well. I know a few of you have reached out to me with wanting information on that, and so I will be getting back to you with that. I think that's all I had in the terms of announcements for tonight. So I'm going to transition the camera down, and I'm going to show you guys some of the awesome kits that are in our occasions catalog, talk to you a little bit about why Stampin' Up! Came out with kits, and why you might want one of these awesome kits. So bear with me while I transition my camera down, and I will be back with you guys in just a couple of minutes. I knew I didn't have as many announcements today, but I really wanted to take the time to show you guys. My list of tips and tricks might be a little too long, so if I go over I'm limiting myself to 45 minutes. I know I originally told you guys 30 or 35, but now I'm limiting myself to 45 minutes because I know you guys have better things to do with your night too. You don't need to be spending all of your time with me. Okay. So let me just move some of my stuff out of the way. I have to reposition everything that I have to share with you guys tonight because I got tons of stuff. Okay, let me grab my catalog. So this first kit that I want to share with you is so fun to do. So fun. It will quit wobbling there, I promise. Hi, Sherry. I'm now finally starting to see some of my comments. So I can see my comments. If any of you have any questions as I'm going, I will try my best to answer them. If not, you guys know the routine. I always go back and answer them. Sometimes, I should mention this to you guys though, sometimes I don't answer them until a little after 9. Because if my husband is working, I'm on duty to go pick up the kids, our girls from dance. So sometimes I get off my Facebook Live and within 10 minutes I have to leave. So if that happens and you guys are like, where'd she go? She's not answering my questions. I promise you I will. I don't think I have to get them tonight, but I wanted to make sure that some of you guys knew that because I know sometimes I don't get right back with all of you. So this first kit that I want to share with you guys is in the Occasions catalog, and this is on page 21, and it is called the Incredible Like You stamp set, kit. And I want to tell you a little bit about why Stampin' Up! Came out with kits. So many times we, as demonstrators, are trying to introduce Stampin' Up! To new people. And I want you to think back to when you were first new to card making, scrapbooking, whatever it is that you do with paper. It could be a little bit overwhelming. And so I know when I first started, I had no intention on buying any of this stuff. My intention was just to go and make cards at the classes that I was going to. And then I slowly transitioned into buying stuff, and well, look at me now. But these kits are a great introductory way of bringing in new people to the world of Stampin' Up! So if you have friends that are, going through any kind of a sad time, need something to kind of pick them up, this kit would be a great way for you to be able to introduce it to them. You could buy this kit, you could have them come over, and you and your friend could sit together and make this very, very easily, because all you would need to purchase is one kit for $27 and the coordinating stamp set. Now, I'll be completely honest, if you have a lot of stamp sets in your inventory, which I know some of you do because I do, you wouldn't really need to buy the stamp set, but the stamp set does coordinate with it perfectly. Stamp set is $17. If you buy the two together, you're close to that $50 order that you would need to get a free celebration item. Hi, Kathy. So this kit comes with everything that you need to be able to put the cards together. And I want to show you those cards in a little bit more detail. Now, this kit includes all of the supplies to make 16 cards. You can kind of see here all of the supplies right here. So all the card stock and the card bases are cut. All of these little pieces you punch out. It's an amazing kit. I love it. And usually the kits are one of the first things that I purchase because, again, they're a great way for me to showcase Stampin' Up! To new people. Now, I'm also looking for anybody, so if anyone's interested to host a party, a Stampin' Up! Party, this kit would be perfect. So how I would do that is everyone would purchase a kit in advance. So basically, you would say to me, you would say, hey Kim, I have 8 people coming over. So we would purchase 8 of these kits in advance. So you'd need to collect some money from your friends in advance. And we'd get together and we'd put these kits together. So that is the joy of these kits. And the neat thing is you would qualify for free product, because $27 times 8, so say 30 times 8 is $240. You are close to getting an additional $25 for free. So during celebration, anybody who hosts an event for any kind of well, it's not in this catalog, it's in the celebration one, but any event, a party that hosts a $250 order or more gets an additional $25 for free. So example here, if you had a $250 party, which would be 8 people buying that kit, you would get 10% of that for free, plus an additional $25, a free product of your choice. So if you have a handful of friends that you would like to get together, these 2 kits make an amazing choice to be able to do that. So these are all of the cards completed and all of the 4 designs. Now the neat thing is, and I had to actually ask my friend Robin, my dear sweet friend Robin, who volunteers at our local homeless shelter, does a lot of my assembly work for me while she's working overnight shifts there. So bless her heart for doing that for our community and for me. But these are the card bases, so they're white on the inside, colored on the outside. All of these little laser cut pieces are already cut out, so she just had to glue them down, and the pretty detail is already behind here. I'm going to pick this up just a little bit. I had her leave some of them up so you could see. You can kind of see that detail is right on that piece of cardstock, and then this just goes on top, perfect overlay. She used the stamp set that coordinates with it, called Incredible Like You. So I also have the stamp set here to show you. It's a really nice stamp set. So she used a lot of the sentiments from that. And these are the 4 different designs of cards that you can make. Now the other thing that I like about card kits is, and I actually learned this from one of my friends, Amanda. Amanda used to do classes for me very regularly, and she hasn't, so I need to reach out to Amanda. But she used to like these kits, because what she would do is she would leave these cards at work in her box. She would take a stamp set, or the stamp set that comes with, because the next kit that I'm going to show you has an actual stamp set that comes with it. And she would stamp a sentiment as she needed it. So she wouldn't have any of them pre-stamped. So if she needed a thinking of you or a sympathy, again, because all of these have such generic patterns, they could be used for anything. She would be able then just to stamp what she needed and get that card in the mail. And I loved that idea that she did that. So these are the 4 samples from that kit. And the neat thing is that there's also this awesome plastic little box container that will hold all of these cards perfectly in it. So your other option is to purchase this kit and actually give it as a gift. So, you know, how many times do you get invited to someone's birthday party or a housewarming party and you're like, I don't have anything to take? I can tell you right now that anybody would love to receive a cute little box like this with cards already done up for them to just be able to give out. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So they all fit in this cute little box, and voila, you have a cute little gift. Love it. So that is the first kit. Now again, this one is called Incredible Like You. It is $27, and it includes all the supplies to make 20 cards. If you purchase this kit as part of my Facebook Live from now through Sunday night, I will give you a free package of dimensionals in your thank you card. So those will come directly from me, whereas your kit will come directly from the company when I put your order in, or when you put your order in online all on your own. So again, 16 cards, $27. So not too bad for a couple hours of fun. So the next kit that I want to share with you is also in our Occasions catalog. And this one is probably my favorite, and I love it because it's an all-inclusive kit, and it's also $27. So let me bring in the next one. This one is called Made to Bloom, and this one is considered an all-inclusive kit. And so I want to explain to you what an all-inclusive kit means. I got to grab all my stuff, you guys, so hang on. I got lots to show you guys, so there's like tons of stuff here. I should also tell you, I didn't in the previous with the previous kit, but all of our kits come with instructions. So this is it shows you step by step how to put the cards together. You know, 1, 2, 3. I mean, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I think that is a pretty awesome thing as well. Okay, so our next kit is called Made to Bloom. And this Made to Bloom kit has all of the supplies that you need to make 12 cards. But this one, again, like I mentioned, they call it all-inclusive because this one literally comes with, and I will open the box in just a minute and show you guys the cards, but this one comes with a little ink spot. This is the Blackberry Bliss, so it's a little ink. Awesome, right? It comes with a block, so this is the block that it comes with. So nice block as well. And then it comes with a stamp set. This stamp set has sentiments that say thinking of you, thank you so much, I'm thinking of you, just a little happy birthday to you. So it's got lots of stuff for you to be able to use for your sentiments. And this block is awesome. It's got her Stampin' Up! Logo on it. So this would be what my friend Amanda would leave at her work, and then she would just stamp it as she needed it. She wouldn't have to worry about stamping the sentiments. She would do that as she needed. This one also comes with a cute little box and a cute little belly band, and you don't even need to take the belly band off to get the cards out. Look at that pretty design on here. So these cards all fit in this little box as well. I'm going to snap those out of there. Look at that box in itself is adorable. But this is the cards. These are the cards, and I love them. So this one Robin stamped just a little happy birthday to you, and this one came with some. Oh, this one has these envelopes. They're so cool because they match, and she even stamped some of the envelopes for me to go with them. So you got white in the inside for you to be able to do your own writing. The kit also came with pearls. It came with dimensionals for you to be able to put these pieces on. All these pieces already came cut out. So this is the first design, this pretty yellow card. Now again, this kit is $27. And then you have this pretty one right here. This one she stamped, thank you so much. And again, all these pieces, so some of them, you know, she just glued down with snail. So this kit will come with, this kit comes with your dimensionals, but it does not come with your any kind of snail. So you would need your own snail or your own adhesive tape runner to be able to put these cards together. But isn't that adorable? I mean, these cards are just pretty. So pretty. And then, whoops, the third design, I'm losing track here of what I'm counting, is this pretty one right here. So there's 3 different designs. You make 4 of each one. And this one she stamped, congratulations, so happy for you. But again, look at that. Can you guys see the design on that? It's got like a foil look to it. I mean, normally, you know, Stampin' Up! Has had kits in the past that they were nice, but you could tell that they were kind of from a kit. And I don't feel that these cards look that way at all. They really, truly don't. But they're simple, easy to do. I also have a couple ladies who buy these kits to be able to work on when they're camping so that they can get their crafting on without taking a bunch of stuff with them to the lake. So a lot of them buy these kits and hang on to them. But like I said, this one's probably my favorite, and the reason why it's my favorite is because there's so many ways in which you can use this kit. You can, like I said, buy it, make it yourself. You can give it as a gift. You know, your grandchildren, nieces, they would probably love doing something like this. And you can get friends together to quickly make cards. You could host an event with your friends. So many different things that you can do with these kits. And I don't think our catalog does them justice because you really can't see how pretty they are without seeing them in person with all like the little gold glitter and glitz that goes along with it. So anyway, those are our kits that we have in our Occasions catalog. If you have any questions on them, please let me know. I'm just going to clean up my table a little bit here so that I can next show you guys some stamping tips and tricks that I get asked a lot when it comes to how do you stamp and not make a mess, and how do you stamp so nice and evenly and not have, you know, rings where they shouldn't be. So I'm going to share with you guys how I do that. So I'm going to kind of go through my list of things. I have a list. I'm not going to show you guys the list just in case I don't get through them all. We'll pick it up again next week. But I have some white cardstock here. So we're not going to really make a project. The rest of tonight is going to be more about learning how to do certain things. So anyway, the first thing I get is how do you stamp? I'm not a very good stamper, and when I stamp, I make a mess. So can you tell me how to stamp? So a lot of times people get intimidated by stamping, or they say, I'm just not a good stamper. Everyone's an amazing stamper. It's just that no one has taken the time to show you the do's and the don'ts. So I'm here to show you the do's and the don'ts. So I am using a stamps from the stamp set First Frost. This is a carryover item from our holiday catalog. And this is not a cling stamp set, so I don't have my stickers on it because I don't put stickers on them, but now that we have the clings, I have been, and I'll show you guys a little bit about that. So when people go to stamp, their first thought is, I need lots of coverage on this stamp. I need to make sure it stamps really good. So the first thing that people do, make sure you guys can see me, is they take their block. I'm going to make a mess right now, you guys, and they stamp this right all up. They want to make sure that they get that good and inked. Okay, do you see what you've created by doing that? So you see how you got that ring around there? So what's going to happen is they're going to want to make sure they get that really good stamped image. So down onto their cardstock they're going to go. And we're going to push that really good. And do you see what you get? You get rings where you don't need them. You also get a little bit of a blurry look to it because you don't need to do it that way. And the key is to make sure your ink pads are not too dry. If your ink pads are a good consistency of color, there's no need to do what I just demonstrated. So that is the what not to do when stamping. So let me clean this off, and I'm going to show you instead what to do when stamping, because there is an awesome way to do this that will give you precision stamping every single time. Let me get this cleaned up. And I picked a dark color on purpose. I am stamping with fresh fig because I want you guys to make sure you are able to see this. So I'm just going to turn this piece of white cardstock over. Now the thing that you need to do when you're stamping is you just want to think tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's all you need to do. Now, I've been stamping long enough that I can do it with one hand, but I tell all new stampers to hang on to your block with two hands, especially if it's quite big. You have better control over it. You're able to tap, 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 tap. You can then look over on the other side and see how well it's stamped up. The other thing that you could do, or inked up, is you could kind of kiss the two together very gently. But I'm literally just tapping that ink pad onto my stamp, okay? I'm not going way into it. The next thing you want to do when you stamp is you want to go straight down, not rocking this block whatsoever. Straight down, straight up. And it's going to give you a better stamped image, okay? What I call this, one of my dear friends, Maggie Patterson, I'm not sure if she does Stampin' Up! Anymore, but she called this ring around the rubber. We laughed so hard at an event that I was at. But that's the mistake that people make a lot, is they're in their minds, they're thinking that they have to get a really good stamped image. With the right ink pad, I always tell my customers when you're at my class, if you're doing this technique and you're not getting good ink coverage, you need to tell me. I need to add more ink to my ink pads. But that will work wonderful each and every time. So that is the first little tip that I wanted to share with you, is that we have to just shift our mindset to stamping, that you don't really need to do the whole rocking and the whole, putting that into the ink pad the way in which I did, where I smashed it right in. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. The next thing I wanted to share with you is something regarding how to stamp using our markers. And I'm going to use the exact same stamp set or stamp that I used in the previous demonstration. And I'm going to get out a couple of our markers. Now this is something, so many times I get this question too from people. They'll say, how do I get more than one color of ink onto my sorry for making noise. How do I get more than one color of ink onto my stamp? And here's how. You're going to use our Stampin' Write markers. I think since our blends have come out, a lot of people have forgotten about our Stampin' Write markers. And what you're going to do is you are going to literally color. So another tip on these, and our blends are the same way. So you have a little mark here and a little mark here. The mark on this side is wider than this side. That's to tell you that this is the wide tip, and that this over here is the little narrow tip. Now that's designed more or less for journaling and for coloring, and this one is designed more for, that's designed more for just writing. This is the one designed more for coloring. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna color right on the back of our stamp. So these are the leaves. I want the leaves to be green. So I'm just adding some color to these. Hoping that you guys can see me doing this okay. This is the green stem. And I may not be doing this perfect when I go to stamp it because I'm kind of running through it kind of fast to be able to give you guys an idea of how it works. And I'm kind of going to go up here, add a little bit of green in there, down here, up in there. And then and this green that I used is the Shaded Spruce. And then using the Highland Heather, I'm going to stamp or color the rest of these flowers in purple, trying really hard not to go on top of my green right there. But so many times people don't realize that you can use your markers this way. Now your blends are not going to work this way because they're going to color, they dry, they're not a watercolor marker. These are a watercolor, so you get a little bit more options of what you can do with these. This is just a really neat way, and I'm going to call it good. I know I don't have it completely done. Now what you're going to want to do before you stamp is you're going to want to huff on this. So that green has already dried, but the minute you huff on it and add a little moisture to it, it's going to be able to stamp right onto this cardstock and give you a pretty good image. So I'm just going to huff on it. So by doing that, you've moistened it up a little bit. And I'm just going to stamp it down there. And look at the pretty image that you get by doing that. So if you've been wondering how you see people doing different things and getting different colors in their stamps, that is how you do that. The next thing that I'm going to share with you is our Versamark. So a lot of times people think that our Versamark ink can only be used for embossing, heat embossing. And if you don't know how to heat emboss, let me know, because that might be a good thing for me to share with you guys on one of my Facebook Lives. Because, so many times I just assume people know things, and I'm sorry for assuming, but I don't want to show you guys things of people, you guys all know them. So the feedback from you guys is amazing, because then I know, better what you guys want to see, need to see, that sort of thing. But our Versamark can also be used to simply add a background to a piece of cardstock. So this is one of the butterflies from the Butterfly Gala stamp set, and I am going to stamp this onto here using Versamark. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me like a watermark image. Not sure if you guys can see that very good. I should have used a darker color. Let me find a darker color of cardstock. See if it'll work on a darker one. It's a little bit darker. I didn't grab the right. Maybe I'm going to use the same stamp. But basically, by using our Versamark ink and just stamping using it onto color, it gives you a nice little subtle background of the. It would be better on darker color, but it just gives you a little bit of a subtle that would dry all on its own, and it's a way to add a little bit of texture. Oh, you can see it there. A little bit of texture and design to cards without using it to actually heat emboss. If you leave that sit, it'll dry all on its own. Oh yeah, it's showing. I know you guys probably can't see it, but it's there. It's showing up. Okay, I should have gotten a darker color of cardstock, like a dark Blackberry Bliss or something like that, and it really would have shown up really good for you guys. But I encourage you to experiment with that. If you have a Versamark ink pad, experiment with it. Try doing some stamping with it. The next thing I want to share with you guys, and I got this question a lot now that people are starting to put their stamps on their blocks. How do you store, or how do you put your stickers on your stamps, and how do you store them? So I'm going to show you guys, I already have this one done, so I'm sorry, let me get the other one out. So this is the new cling mount stamp, and so I want to share with you guys how I store my stamps and how to put the stickers on. So again, if you guys already know this, I'm really sorry, but these are some of the questions that have popped up, so I want to make sure I cover it. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling out all of these stamps out of my, they're all just going to pull right out of there. So that is the first thing that I do. And I'm not going to actually put stickers on all of these, but I want to show you guys how I store my stamps and how I put the stickers on. So this is a cling mount stamp. So I got all my stamps out of there. They're all sitting right there. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to peel off this backing, just like this. And I actually put this into the back of my case like this. Okay, and then you have stickers that come with this. I'm going to move this case out of the way just for a second. So these are the stickers that come with all of the stamps. So this right here is my, my gift one. You're going to peel off that backing as well. And on the opposite side, every single one of these stickers has a slit in it. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. I'm just going to peel those apart. And that is sticky, so you're not going to want to touch it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stamp down on it, line it up in the sheet, push it down really good, peel it up, and I've got my sticker on there, and this is the side that is clingy. Okay, from there, I'm going to put it where it belongs, upside down in its spot. Just not pushing down really far, but I'm putting it in its spot. You can still get that up, no problem. But that is how you put your stickers on your clear mount and your cling stamps. So I want to make sure you guys knew that. I'll be doing the rest of these later. I don't want to spend the time right now, but I'll tell you one of the features and benefits as to why I like to do it that way. Let me put all these away. I do not want to lose those. You can tell it's one I haven't played with yet. But this stamp set is one of the ones I'm going to be featuring for you guys next week in my Facebook Live. So next week I'll be talking to you all about Valentine's Day. But what I like about doing that way with my stamps is I'm able to easily see if anything is missing. So I just turn this over and I can see, yep, nope, I have all of my stamps included here. Nothing is missing, and I can put it away. It's just peace of mind for me. So that is how I store mine. And that way they're also not just loose in the case. You're able to easily, you know, see them all. So anyway, that was another one that has come up. Let's see here. Oh, block size for stamping. So in our catalog, and again, some of these questions came from some of you, and some of them I brainstormed. So, see, Sherry just said she never knew to do that. So, yay, Sherry, I taught you something. And Sherry's been with me for a very long time. So, in our catalog, I'm just going to pull to a page. And I'm using our annual catalog. I know the Occasions catalog has it too. But down here on the bottom, underneath all of our stamp sets, it will tell you the suggested clear blocks that you need. It'll say, like this one says it needs A, B, C, G, and H. If you didn't know, all of our blocks have a alphabetical letter on them. This is A. This is G. So it'll tell you what ones you need. Now, I always tell my customers, if you get the biggest block, it'll fit all of the stamps. But I'm here to tell you that there are some exceptions to that rule. So if you were using a great big stamp or a great big block like this one right here for a little stamp, let me bring in a little stamp from my Hey Valentine set. If you were going to be using that on a little stamp like this that says Stinkin' Sweet, you put it in the middle, because it's so big, there's more space for it to rock on you, okay? You have to be really careful to go straight down, straight up. Whereas if you were using the Stinkin' Sweet on this sized block, because it is nice and little and the right size that you need it to be, you have better control to be able to stamp with it. So there are different times where if something's really, really little and intricate, you're going to want to get a littler block. Unless you're comfortable with using some of those bigger blocks for those. So just another little thing that sometimes people struggle with. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was our Tombow glue. Did I not? Oh yes, I did bring our Tombow glue over here. Now, some of you who took my friend Dawn's class from me and you watched the video on how to put her cards together, you may have seen me talk to you about this technique that I'm going to show you. But sometimes intricate stuff is really hard to glue on. So, for instance, those first set of cards that I showed you that had those laser sheets on top, let me bring one of those back in. These can be really tricky to glue on, very tricky. And you can see Robin has most of it glued down, but there's a neat way you can get all of that to glue down. And what I do is I use our Tombow glue. Bear with me, I'm going to shake the thing a little bit. I keep these empty containers from when we use our embellishments. And what you're going to do is you can put a little bit of this Tombow glue inside of here. I'm going to actually just put a little bit in. I don't want to waste too much. Or you could also, you know, use anything else that you might have laying around the house. But what you would do, so pretend that this is your intricate sheet that you want to glue down to your card. What you do is you take a sponge. We sell these sponges, 3 of them in a package. I cut them into little little square, like a pie. I cut it into eight slices of a pie, and you just kind of dab the glue, and now you can put more in there if you wanted to, and you just simply, you're going to need some scrap paper underneath of you, and you just simply sponge the glue onto those intricate pieces, and when you turn them over to glue them down to your card, you have better coverage of that glue over the entire intricate piece. So I've been using that technique a lot for doing some intricate gluing. It is a little bit messy because your underlay is going to get dirty from where you had the excess glue going. But what you're going to want to do is, I tell everybody, you do one and move down, like on a piece of grid paper, you have like 8 or 9 different stamping times by moving it down. The other thing that one of my customers mentioned to me, Terry, is that you can also use your old catalogs. I keep my old catalogs, at least one of each of them, for inspiration. But if you have old catalogs, you can also use the sheets in your catalogs to do the same thing with, to use as your paper to be able to do that messy gluing technique. But a neat technique. So the next thing that I want to share with you is the stamp on, stamp off technique. So many times people will ask me, how did you get different colors of ink? Oops, sorry you guys, I'm making a mess. You should see this table. I literally have a mess. I'm going to use some real red ink, and I'm going to show you guys the stamp off, stamp on technique. So let me find I kind of wanted to use my Valentine stamp set. So yes, next week, just so you guys know, is going to be all about Valentine's Day. I'm going to be really showcasing this Hey Love Valentine stamp set. I was a little bummed this year because it's my first year not making Valentines for any school for the girls, because Claire's in middle school, they don't do that anymore, and Natalie's at the high school. And so I decided that I'm still making Valentines because I love Valentine's Day. I just love the colors. I'm a pink fanatic, and so for me, the pink and red is just amazing. So let's say I wanted to make a little tag that said, Hey Valentine. What the stamp on, stamp off technique does, so I'm stamping into the ink, and I'm stamping directly onto my piece of paper, okay? Now let's say I wanted to stamp the Hey Valentine another time, but down and over a little bit. This time I want it to be a little bit lighter. Let me bring this all in so that you guys can see here. So this time I'm gonna stamp into the ink. I'm gonna stamp off onto my, this would be like a, grid paper or something like that. And then I'm gonna stamp on, and look at the difference that color gave you. Oops, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. So that was stamping directly on. I'm going to do that one more time so you guys can see, because I didn't realize that was too high. So direct color, and then going back into the ink, stamping off, and then stamping on. Now if I wanted to do it one more time, it's going to be even lighter. But can you see how that technique would give you a really neat look just by, changing the color look to it? Like this one's, stamping it, then just stamping it again, and stamping it again. So pretty cool, I think, anyway. I'm hoping you guys can see the variation of color in the ink. So if you hear people say they stamp on, then stamp off, that's what you're doing. You're stamping off onto some kind of, to get some of the excess ink off, and then you're stamping back on to your project. So I hope you guys can see the variation on that. Okay, so that is the stamp on, stamp off technique. Am I out of time yet, you guys? I'm not sure. I'm going to actually take the time to show you guys one more thing before I sign off for the night, and that is talk to you a little bit about the different colors of ink. So, and this is always a reminder because sometimes people forget, we have both StazOn ink and we have Memento ink. And I get the question a lot, what is the difference? What do I use them for? So StazOn ink is the black ink that you want to use if you want to use your Stampin' Write markers to color. So these are water-based markers. This is a alcohol-based ink. Okay, so think of it as if you had two alcohols, they're going to run together. So you can't have an alcohol and an alcohol. You have to have a water and an alcohol. So this one is the one you want to stamp in to be able to use your regular Stampin' Write markers. Okay, so if you wanted to stamp something and then color it in, this is what you would do. Now, if you want to use your blends, and your blends are an alcohol marker, you need to use a water-based ink. That is where this Memento Tuxedo Black ink comes into play, because the markers, think of your blend markers as being more like a your blend markers are an alcohol marker, like a Sharpie. So think of your blends as a Sharpie. And think of your other markers as your regular Crayola markers. That's the best way I can explain it in terms that might make a little bit more sense. But these are your blends. And if you have any of these blends, so this is the light crumb cake, they actually smell like a Sharpie marker. And why am I smelling it? You guys can't see me doing that. But anyway, they smell like a Sharpie marker. And so for that, you're going to want to use your Memento. If you accidentally used your StazOn with your blends, this is going to run when you color over the black lines. You're going to ruin your blends, and you're going to have a black mess everywhere. So that is why you want to use the different marker or the different inks. Now, someone says to me too one time, okay, I just want a black ink pad. I don't want to do any coloring. I just want to be able to stamp in black, my sentiments or whatever. So my go-to black in that case is the Memento. And the reason why is because the Memento is easier to clean off of your stamps. This is like an alcohol, so alcohol is hard to clean. Like you can't get Sharpie markers out of clothes. This does not come off completely off of your blocks or off of your stamps. You have to use a StazOn cleaner to be able to remove that. So this is my go-to black just for regular stamping. It is the Memento Tuxedo Black. So that is the difference between the two blacks and the two sets of markers. I think I may have covered, I think I still have 3 or 4 items, but I will cover them another time in another video because I've already been on with you guys for 50 minutes. I went from 35 to 45 to 50, but I'm really hoping that some of you learned a lot tonight. Oh, good, Cindy, you did. So Cindy Wood is a fairly new stamper, and she learned a lot tonight. So that's my goal. Is to teach you guys different little tips and tricks to help make you be a better stamper. Although, like I said, any homemade card is amazing, so don't feel like you're a bad card maker. I think a homemade card goes so much further than a store-bought card any day. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's video. Next week's will be all about it'll be all about Valentine's Day. I'll be showing you guys. Basically, it's going to be showing you some Valentines that you can make for your grandchildren, for you to hand out to coworkers. So more of the little treats and things like that. And then the following weekend, it's going to be all about birthday cards. I realized that I didn't talk to you guys a whole lot about birthdays, and usually January is devoted to birthdays, and I jumped right into the masculine stuff that I loved and right into making some of those Valentine's cards with the My Love bundle. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Again, I hope you all learned a little something. And if there's any ideas or things that you would like me to be able to share with you going forward when I do my Facebook Lives, shoot me a message. I've been loving the feedback that I've been getting from all of you so far. No question is a dumb question. That is what I'm here for, is to help you guys. So thank you and have a wonderful week. Remember my ordering special. special. So if you get to 50, you're going to get a free celebration item, but you're also going to get a pack of dimensionals from me from now through Sunday night. And if you order one of our kits, it's a $27 kit, you'll also get that free pack of dimensionals. So thank you guys so very much for watching and tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all back here next week, and look forward to hearing from you guys throughout the week on my Facebook group. Have a great evening. Bye.